There are organizations out there that are leveraging Salesforce in powerful ways to serve their customers. Trailside Talk is here to shine a light on their successes and their stories.
I'm your host, Hannah Thompson. Join me on the trail to CRM success as we dig into some real-life, high-impact journeys, from challenges to triumphs and everything in between. Let's explore this story together. All right, well, welcome to Trailside Talk. I am joined today by Simon Boyce, Chief Revenue Officer of Seam Group. And Seam Group is a global leader in energized asset performance that brings together safety, maintenance, and reliability initiatives. And they help their clients protect their people and their assets while ensuring operational uptime. So Simon, thank you so much for being here today. To kick us off, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you came to be in your role at Seam Group?
Thanks for having me, Hannah. Yes, Simon Boyce, Chief Revenue Officer at Seam Group. I have been with Seam Group a little over 3 years now. Previously, I was Director of Global Sales at a asset management consulting and software organization. So my career has spanned falling my way into sales and being a sales rep and struggling early days there and actually being on a performance improvement plan to performing quite well as a individual contributor seller to managing a small team to then being in global management roles and now leading the revenue organization, which also includes marketing, sales support, legal contracts, and our product services team, go-to-market team for Seam Group. So it's been a fun journey and learned a lot along the way and continue to learn new things every day as just how do we grow as a business, how do you scale predictably and build a culture of that we all want within our organizations.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited for us to dig into where this journey's taken you so far. And I'd love it if you could tell us a little bit more about Seam Group's role within the industry, and then maybe a little bit about what your competition looks like.
Sure. So our mission at Seam Group is to create a safer, more reliable world. Our customers are commercial, industrial, industry. They typically have facilities, whether it's in the manufacturing sector, logistics, distribution, hospitality, and other sectors within the commercial industrial space. Our sweet spot is customers that have a lot of sites. So often they span a global footprint, and they have a lot of assets and a lot of electrical assets. So we do a lot of the work we do is on the electrical asset side of things, where the risk of an event to people through either an arc flash or a similar event can be really harmful from a people perspective, but also can shut down a facility and impact revenue and throughput and things like that. So our solutions in safety, maintenance, and reliability, we help optimize cost, increase throughput of product. We enhance customer satisfaction and competitive advantage. We are putting in measures in place to reduce overall risk at a facility and keep the employees safe so that they can go home every night to their families. So we do some really important work and we work with a lot of Fortune 1000 companies through to smaller companies, and in many cases over thousands of facilities globally every year.
Gosh, yeah, such valuable work you guys are doing for your customers. Could you please speak a little bit more about the customers that you serve and how Seam Group improves their lives?
So we've worked with many of our customers for 20 plus years and very well respected in the electrical safety, reliability, and maintenance world. As my role has been to come in and help us transition from being, a kind of a point solution or providing individual services that keeps them compliant to play more of an advisory role for our customers. So what's coming up with new regulations, things like NFPA 70B, making sure they're compliant, what problems they may have around the corner that they're not aware of. And so we're playing an educational role with our customers and really advising them on what their 3 and 5 year programs need to look like. This obviously really helps them set up their programs, and from running our own business, it provides predictability and allows us to plan our resource needs and investments in the business as well. So we've been able to improve our cross-selling in a lot of cases by adding new services to our contracts where customers maybe weren't aware that we also offered something else. That provides them efficiency and less people having to be on their facility. We might be able to perform 2 or 3 services with the same technician, the same resource, versus having to, if they use multiple vendors, they would have to send out multiple technicians to do that work. So yeah, we have a lot of existing clients that we work with, around 1,500 logos we worked with over the last 5 years, about 1,000 different logos every year. And our marketing engine, and just through our thought leadership and our content and digital marketing efforts, we're getting quite a steady flow of inbound leads as well, which is new customers, which is also great to help us grow.
Oh yeah, very important and value-adding work that you guys are doing for them. That's great. What about challenges? What's your biggest challenge at Seam Group?
I think if I think of interactions with customers, it is we do need to educate them on what good looks like at times. I think in today's world, everyone is so busy, and just getting real time with them to help advise them and sit down with them and get them to be less reactive, be more proactive in how they handle their safety and their maintenance and reliability. So that's an ongoing battle, and that's all about leading with value, giving them examples, and becoming trusted. So I think just getting time with our customers is one that we're constantly battling. Internally with our sales team, it's all about effectiveness. So how do we maximize the time our sales reps spend talking to customers and actually prospecting and helping our customers, get projects set up? We want them spending less time in our tools like Salesforce, doing data entry, and less time having to fill out forms and do things. So it's all about effectiveness and efficiency for the sales reps. And that's been a journey that we've been on since I got here, partnering with WhiteRock and some others on just becoming more effective, using our sales support resources to help with, filling out customer vendor forms and whatnot. At the end of the day, the more meetings and calls that we can be on with our customers, the best chance we are to find problems they're facing and help solve them for us, which in turn brings us in more business and helps us grow. So I think those are the kind of the external and the internal challenges.
If you don't mind me asking, how have those challenges impacted your day-to-day business and your bottom line?
With our customers, we've made some nice headway in playing a programmatic advisory role, and it's an ongoing evolution of educating and also elevating who we're talking to within our customer accounts. Typically, the higher you go, the bigger the business problem, the bigger the span of control that your stakeholders in your customer organizations have. The ability to set up a multi-year program that's going to give them the most value increases. So navigating complex customer organizations and getting to the right stakeholder, that's part of the battle. And we've had some really big wins in this front, even recently. An example I would use is with one large multinational food organization. We started performing an arc flash study at one single site at a rural Indiana plant. We were then connected to an additional site, then to some regional managers, And then we've worked our way up to now the Senior Vice President of Operations, who now wants to roll out a multi-service, technology-enabled program that we've agreed to with them that'll roll out. And that's exciting. That's when we've been able to show our value kind of with pilots and site level work, and then we can go ahead and roll out a program for them and really tie it to some business value that they're looking for. So that's fun. In terms of the effectiveness of our sales reps, we spent a lot of time working with WhiteRock to audit what was in Salesforce. When I got here, the comment I heard from sales reps is it can take 8 to 10 minutes to close out an opportunity once we get a PO, because so many required fields. It was pages of data there because over time there'd just been a habit of asking for a new field to be added, and then accounting might ask for, well, we want this captured. And so we lost control of our Salesforce instance, is the way I would describe it. And so really we had to rein that back in. We've gone down and really cut down the amount of fields that are required. We make sure our integrations to our operations and accounting systems are a lot tighter and data's flowing back and forth. And now it takes less than a minute to close out an opportunity, assuming that person has the correct information. So we've been able to really expand that efficiency and effectiveness. There's still room to grow as always, and we're on a continuous improvement journey, but we've been able to greatly reduce the data entry and the frustrations I think our reps were facing going back 3 or 4 years.
Wow, yeah, no kidding. Sounds like game-changing stuff for you guys and for your customers. So our team at WhiteRock has been privileged to get to work with Seam Group as you've been overcoming challenges and growing and improving. Can we talk a little bit about how Seam Group first discovered and engaged with WhiteRock, and how has this partnership improved Seam Group's ability to serve customers?
Yes, we were introduced to WhiteRock through our private investor group, Align Capital. I think Mike, obviously the founder and CEO at WhiteRock, and Dave, who's an advisor to Seam Group with Align, had worked together in a past life. And when I got here, we're already on a journey of implementing a sales playbook. So standardized sales processes, best practices, and just consistency across how our sales reps interact with customers and move opportunities through the funnel. And the next iteration was to align Salesforce with that playbook and the stages. And so that work was underway. And then when I got here, just the complaints from people about the inefficiencies and the frustrations with the tool, that led to several conversations I had with Mike. He had a look under the hood, I think, along with Logan and some other team members, and was able to identify some real quick wins and then lay out a longer journey of what we needed to do to get us where we wanted to. And I think that's now 2.5, 3 years into that journey, and it's been a true partnership. Lots of ideas get thrown around in these worlds of what's needed. Can we do this? Can we do that? And I think Mike's been a real help in slowing us down at times and helping us, realign to where we want to go and prioritizing the right activities. But has been a tremendous partnership, and really value the work WhiteRock has done for us.
Well, yeah, on behalf of our team, we're really excited for you guys. What about our partnership? What is it that you value most about working with WhiteRock?
I think it's several things. I think the speed to respond and customer service is always really top notch. So I don't remember a time having to bug WhiteRock for an answer or guidance on something. Always very timely, or giving us a timeline of when they can get to something. I think it's really been a sounding board of what we needed to get after and on what timeline, and just things that may be coming 6, 12 months down the road. Always looking ahead, what might be coming around the corner for us, what others are doing in the space. now just not thinking about it from a sales perspective, but also thinking of it from a marketing and lead gen, and how HubSpot plays a role with Salesforce, and ensuring all those systems are connected and truly aligned to bringing value to our business.
It's really great to hear about WhiteRock being a sounding board for you guys. Building on that, how has this partnership with WhiteRock contributed to growth and development of Seam Group? And how do you measure the success of WhiteRock solutions for your organization?
I think I've already talked about the efficiency effectiveness that is pretty significant. I think when we did the ROI on it going back 12 months ago, I think from the time efficiencies, we've picked up a sales rep back, which is, on average about $3 million a year for us in efficiency gains, if we look at adding an additional rep and what their average output would be for us as a business. But I think for me, in my role, I need to predictably forecast what business is coming 30, 60, 90 days down the road. That then needs to be passed on to our operations team so they can schedule and plan accordingly. And then at times we need to have discussions with the recruiting team and the HR team about adding resources in various locations or service areas of our business. So the predictability, the dashboards, what we've been able to do with Salesforce is we're running a much tighter business now. While we were working on the Salesforce improvement project, we were also doing a lead to cash initiative as part of our one Seam integration of our whole business into using the same systems, the same processes. So we've done level 1, level 2, and we're in the process of doing level 3 process mapping, just so it's very clear on how we operate as a business. When I got here, and even before then, we operated as often 6, 8, even 10 little micro businesses that had their own systems, their own processes, their own people. We've really come together, and I think COVID's played a big role in us doing that, and just making sure we do things the same way. So we've had efficiency gains in that, but now I can regularly communicate to our operations partners what business is coming and what the next 30, 60, 90 days look like, which just lets us run our business a lot better than in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a big difference to have those capabilities. That's awesome. Sticking with this topic of success, what are some of your biggest accomplishments over the past year?
Look, Seam Group overall has achieved some significant growth over the past 3 years, and some of that, a lot of momentum was coming well before I came on board, and we put the sales best practices in place. But we're growing at over a 30% CAGR, which is, for a services organization, is really impressive. I think beyond that, I just look at the maturity of our sales team and the enhancements we've made there in the 3 years. We're getting, we've improved efficiency and rep productivity. So the results we get per rep by about 20% year on year, meaning we're able to talk to more customers, get more pipeline, and actually end up selling more. So that's improved by 20% year on year. And we've created a predictable engine that if we know if we bring on a rep now, it takes them 3 months, maybe 4 months to ramp and get them up to the productivity of an existing team member. But we've got a fairly proven manner in which we do that now, which is nice as well. So I think I'm just proud of seeing many of our top reps progress their skills from when they joined us. And then many of our reps have moved into management roles and key leadership roles. So just seeing that individual progression and improvement and growth is probably what's personally rewarding to me, obviously, along with some of the business growth that we've had.
Yeah, definitely. Those types of growths are definitely worth celebrating. What would you say is next for Seam Group as far as future plans and goals go? What's Seam Group excited about for the future?
Yeah, look, I think we now are we've had a really significant growth period. And like any business going through those phases, you have your ups and downs and your bumps. I think we're looking to really stabilize the business, run it consistently, even more predictably than we do today. We do that by the strategy is that elevating the value prop and what we can offer customers, sell higher, have executive level conversations, and really maximize the value we can bring to our customers. Our technology offering is also another key part of our growth. So the work Igor Bondarenko and our technology team has done to improve Viewpoint has been phenomenal. Viewpoint has been around over 10 years as a software reporting tool for our field services, but we've really taken it to the next level, listening to our customers and taking in where they would like to see the tool go, and made significant investments in enhancements of functionality in the past 12 months. And now Viewpoint will be a subscription available for our customers, and it will be included in many contracts, and just that technology-enabled services company to help customers optimize their performance and do it safely. Yeah, that's what we're doing there, and really excited about our technology roadmap and vision as well.
Wow, yeah, that's excellent. Lots to be excited about there for sure. How do you see WhiteRock fitting into that and into your long-term strategy?
I think your systems are always evolving, and we think of people, process, and technology in that order. We've got to continually look to ensure we've got the right people in the right seats. We've got processes that allow us to clearly articulate how we want to operate as a business, and that we allow people to move pretty quickly and agile and work together across functions and divisions. And then the technology supports all that. So I think as we continue to evolve and grow, we will lean on WhiteRock for further support around integrating systems, ensuring best practices, and finding even more efficiency, because I think it's a journey where, part of the way along the journey, but there's a lot more still to be done.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of expanding on that, can you think of areas for expansion or innovation in the partnership?
Yeah, I can think of some tactical areas. We were just talking about one, setting up our system to really trigger sales reps around renewal activities and tasks and activities. We're pretty immature in that area at the moment. I think further enhancing our reporting. Some of our reporting is still manual. Sometimes we still live in spreadsheets a little bit too much. So across our business, so Salesforce has some nice out-of-the-box reporting, but we've got various Power BI initiatives. And I know our operational folks who use the Workfront suite, they do a lot of their reporting manually still today. So I think there's real growth opportunities there. And, as we probably eventually move to a larger ERP system eventually, that is a more cohesive link between our systems. So I think continued opportunities there to partner.
And what advice would you give to an organization considering a Salesforce partner like WhiteRock?
I think it's important to understand what you're looking for in a partner. So I would clearly define your criteria in choosing a partner, whatever that might be, what's most important to you, and then really try to understand and talk to vendors and see how they rank against those criteria. For us, it was, speed of response, customer service was high, and WhiteRock has excelled there. I think it's strategy and being a sounding board. So not only taking care of the tactical items to move projects forward, but also stepping back and saying, there's big opportunity here. So I think willing to speak to anyone that might be considering this journey and have questions about the WhiteRock engagement, but highly would recommend WhiteRock. And I think for anyone in my seat, I would encourage you to have, if you don't have the internal resources, really look to this, because I think the what we've paid WhiteRock in investment has been paid back tenfold in efficiency, effectiveness, and reporting, and just getting us headed in the right direction. And even some things that you can't measure, like rep morale from not having Salesforce error out because fields aren't being completed. So lots of value we've had. Happy to chat to anyone about if they're looking to go on a similar journey.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. I think that's really, really good advice and great to hear. As we begin to close out here, is there anything else that you want to share with those tuning in?
No, look, yeah, as I said, happy to network and talk to anyone that's interested in going along this journey. I think it's a critical part. The revenue operations and making sure your systems are doing what we need as revenue leaders is critical. So love to discuss what others are seeing and going through. Some might be further along the journey, some might be less along the journey, but continued investment in this area, optimizing our time. At the end of the day, we want to help our customers be safe and reliable, and our sales reps' job is to have as many conversations with ideal customer profiles as possible in any given day or week. And my managers, we want them coaching and being on those calls and really helping our reps get better and strategizing and planning around accounts and opportunities and whatnot. So maximizing those two activities allows us to help the most customers, and our technology suite and our processes are critical to allowing that. And it's been a fun journey, and it's a continuous improvement journey, but have really enjoyed our ride with WhiteRock and look for it to continue into the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the feeling is mutual. Thank you. Do you have a favorite book for success that you would recommend folks check out?
What books am I reading right now? From a sales leader standpoint, I love Gap Selling by Keenan. I love the Predictable Revenue book, which is about building a predictable lead generation engine. The sales leadership book written by John McMahon is one that I've also found phenomenal. And then more of a general business book, the GE book, the biography on, what's it called? The Lights Out, I think is what it's called, that talks about the GE journey. That's a great business read as well. And then I'm actually on one right now called The Negativity Fast. So with everything going on in the world, it's really easy to get caught up into what you see on the news and social media and whatnot. So I'm working on a bit of a negativity fast to stay positive and control what I can control in my day and week, and stay positive and be the best leader I can for our team, and be a good person on the home front as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, those are great recommendations. Thank you so much for sharing. Last question for you here. If somebody wants to get in touch with you or with Seam Group, how might they get in contact with you?
Sure, you can find me on LinkedIn, and then also happy to share an email. My email is sboyce, BOYCE @seamgroup.com. Happy to converse with anyone on this topic. And thanks for all your time today, Hannah.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. It's really been a pleasure to hear from you. Pleasure to get to spotlight Seam Group, and thanks for taking the time. We can't wait to see what's next for you guys.
Well, that concludes another exciting episode of Trailside Talk. Thanks for joining, and see you on the next trail.